Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Indy, back on the oval, and everything is well with the world, because finally, it is time for Indy 500 practice. So, day one was a very interesting day, starting off bright and early at 9 a.m. With 2 hours and 15 minutes of full field running. Everyone except Stephen Wilson, which I'll talk about in a second, was out on the track starting at 9 a.m. and that went up until 11:15, had a little bit of a break, and then at noon, Stephen Wilson came out for rookie orientation stuff, which they did until 3 o'clock. Sorry, it wouldn't have been noon, it was 1. 1 o'clock, Stephen Wilson came out for rookie orientation, and 3 o'clock, the rest of the field was released for full field running at the end of the day. So in total, a little bit under 6 hours of full running. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes that everyone got out on track today. You have the full 5 hours and 15 minutes, if I could talk. We'll have 6 hours, I believe, of full running tomorrow, and then so tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, obviously, is qualifying. So that's at least the next couple of days worth of the schedule. I was trying to do something for every day of the month of May, but I got really sick last week. I went to the Grand Prix, but I definitely was not going to be able to make a video about it. I wasn't feeling good at all. So, sorry I couldn't get anything out for the Grand Prix, but I'm feeling a lot better now, and I'm going to start doing some stuff for the proper month of May at the Oval, I guess. I don't even know what to call this anymore. It's just 500 stuff now, I guess. The Grand Prix isn't... I don't know. The Grand Prix is really propped up by the 500 anyways, but yeah, so that's... I don't know, that's me ranting. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the first session of the day. Now, I didn't make a graphic for this. Most of the stuff was just going to be people running out on their own anyways, trying to get cars set up. But one thing I did notice, that right out of the gate, right at the beginning, Dreyer and Reinbold Racing was putting up some big times. Sage Karam came in third in the session at a 2:26.3. First was Scott Dixon, second was Marcus Ericsson, and also sixth, Santino Ferrucci. So the two Dreyer and Reinbold guys, in the first session especially, were really out guns a-blazing, trying to set some fast times. It's cool, and you had some people just going out to kind of turn laps. Looked like they were really trying to get some big toes, put some big numbers up. Just cool to see out of Dreyer and Reinbold Racing. That's not exactly something I would have expected. So moving on to the evening session, which really was the more eventful session, I guess, the more packed session, more people running anyways. This one I do have a graphic up for. Top time of the day, Takuma Sato at a 2:28.939. He put that up last 10 minutes, and really came quite out of nowhere, to be honest, because obviously Takuma wasn't really anywhere major throughout the day, wasn't, top of the time charts at any point or anything, and then just put that up right at the end of practice. He was faster by over a mile an hour over anyone else. Second place was Scott Dixon, who, again, very, very close to the top. He was obviously top of the board beginning of the day and very close, and was up there most of the time end of the day. 2:27.768. Third, Jimmy Johnson with another... He put up his lap right before Takuma with a 2:27.722. Fourth, Marcus Ericsson, another Ganassi car, with a 2:27.094, and fifth, Rans VK in the 21 with a 2:26.995. So out of that top 5, and I guess the top 6 with Alex Palou, you'll notice a lot of Ganassis, all of the full-time Ganassis, Jimmy, Scott, Marcus, and Alex, no particular order there. But yeah, 4 out of the 5 Ganassis in the top 6, all the full-time Ganassis in the top 6, and Tony Kanaan was 9th. So at least when it comes to the tow times we're getting, looks like Chip has got pretty good team going right now. Looks like Ganassi's are really fast. Trying to think of other things of note here. Andretti actually had a lot, really didn't do a lot today. Their top driver was Marco Andretti in 10th. Right behind him, 11th was Devlin De Francesco. You have to go all the way down to 26th to find the next Andretti driver with Colton Herta. 27th was Alexander Rossi, and down to 31st you have Roman Grosjean. So, the Andretti guys weren't doing very well, and especially the Andretti guys you'd expect to be doing well, other than maybe Marco. The three best full-time guys, Colton, Alex, and Roman, all pretty far down there. Obviously, somewhat reasonable that Roman Grosjean would be pretty far down, considering this is still technically his rookie Indy 500, which is a bit weird for me to wrap my head around, but it makes sense, I guess. It is interesting for me to see Devlin P11. I didn't necessarily expect that, no. Though, again, these are single lap tow times, they don't exactly matter. There's not a very good way to judge how things are going to work outside of that. I'll just look at some no-tow times real quick. Fastest of the day was Renus VK to 221.551. Second fastest was actually Ed Carpenter, who was 29th overall, but second in no-tows with a 220.869, so top two are Carpenter cars. Third was Jimmy Johnson with a 220.724. Fourth was Marcus Ericsson with a 220.662. And fifth of your no-tow cars was David Malukas with a 220.298. So, things to look at there. You have Carpenter cars are fast, Ganassi cars are fast. How the heck is Jimmy up there? And David Malukas. Also interesting. Let me figure out where Connor was. Connor didn't set a no-tow time today, so interesting to see that. I guess, I don't know, if he did more running at the end of the session, it's kind of hard to get a gap there. So yeah, maybe understandable that Connor wouldn't have got a no-tow time in, but his teammates were 1 and 2. So interesting to see if Connor at some point, let me check if he had one in the first session that was worth noting. He was 6th in the first session, so pretty good looking for Ed Carpenter Racing. They're always going to be fast in the no-tow times. They've been like that for quite a while now. Ed Carpenter always seems like they're a threat for the pole. 3 cars I wouldn't expect at least. I'd expect probably all 3 of them to be in the top 12, I guess, since they're not doing the Fast 9 anymore. It's going to be weird. But, yeah, so that's the big headlines. The only other things of note today were, first day, of course, teams are going to go out and do the photo shoots or whatever, so Penske did that, which, I don't know, I have my opinion on that. I think it's stupid. Obviously, we had seen what happened last year with Colton Herta. Would have been Ray Hall was doing a photo shoot, and, stuff got clogged up behind, and Herta tapped the wall, so, stuff like that. I think those photo shoots are dumb, but, teams will do whatever, plus it's Penske, so, he gets his own excuse to do what he wants, but it is interesting. But, first day, this was like literally within 15 minutes of the practice starting, so no one was actually out there running at speed, but I still think it's dumb. Hopefully you don't end up with some Ray Hall situation where they do that, day 2 or 3, and people are actually out there trying to set big times, and, we're just going to cruise across here at 100 miles an hour. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year, but that's about all I have. I'm trying to think if there's any other things of note here. Yeah, not really. So that's about all I have. So that's day 1 of INDYCAR back at the Speedway, back at the Oval, and it's really 500 time now. So next less than 2 weeks, going to be really interesting, and I'm going to be covering every bit of it. Next video is going to be out tomorrow. At some point, I'm going to be getting some cars in the mail. I'm going to be looking at the Hy-Vee special INDYCAR stuff. We don't have a Hy-Vee here in Indiana other than the one they're building in Zionsville, but so I ordered those online off of eBay, so those will be hopefully coming in the next few days. I'll have some video out about that, along with a video for, everyday stuff happening from then to now, or from now to then. But yeah, that's about all I have. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll see you all for day 2 of Indy 500 practice.